Continuing now with our lead story, strong evidence the White House purposely misled the world about the assassination of Ambassador Christopher Stevens in Benghazi, Libya. With us, Fox News anchor Geraldo Rivera. So when you're looking at this story, because you went through Watergate too, all right, as did I, and it's the same old story. Why just not say in the beginning it was a terror attack and we're trying to find out if it was Al-Qaeda? Do you think Americans would have cared one way or the other about it?
Well, it might have interrupted the president's narrative. Remember, GM is alive, Bin Laden is dead,
if he's going, I'm going to get these guys, it's a minor blip. But to send someone out like Ambassador Susan Rice to blame it on a video, which he clearly did, and everybody saw it, knowing that your CIA chief, Petraeus, as we just heard, wasn't comfortable with that at all. That's just folly. That's just stupid.
It is never the crime. It is never the act itself. It is the cover-up.
But aren't you stunned at how dumb that is?
You know, they did it for tactical advantage to win the election. They won the election. They succeeded, just as Richard Nixon succeeded in winning the election in 1972 by a landslide, by dismissing the Watergate investigation as minor and tangential.
Do you think that this is as big as Watergate?
No, I don't, because at Watergate you had a burglary. You had a crime at the heart of it. There's no crime at the heart of this, but it is something deeply disturbing. There is clearly an effort, a transparent effort, and you and I spent time with Jay Carney at the Washington Correspondents' Dinner. We chatted with him, a fine fellow, affable, very loyal to the president. He was really in extremis today. I think you're absolutely right. He, for the first time, seemed extremely uncomfortable. Why?
He bloviating.
Because they spun it as something it was not. It was pretty clear now that this was a terror attack, that Al-Qaeda was involved. If not totally Al-Qaeda, certainly they were the heart, they were the leadership, they were the ones that brought the heavy weapons that night. And instead of saying that, why? Because it would interrupt their narrative. They had the convenient, and maybe even intellectually, they could grasp the demonstrations in Cairo and throughout the Muslim world.
Did you happen to see my interview last night with Pat Smith, the mother of Sean Smith?
I didn't see that particular one, but I've interviewed Pat Smith myself, so I know very much.
She told me and millions of viewers that both President Obama and Secretary of State Clinton told her, eye-to-eye, face-to-face, the video was responsible.
And Leon Panetta as well, and Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. And they told Pat Smith that they would get the people who did this, and 8 months later they still have not.
But how could you possibly do that if you were the President of the United States and you were seeing with the CIA, and he gets a briefing every morning from the CIA? The President gets a direct briefing. How could you possibly do that when the CIA is raising flags all over the place?
Because it is easy. Because it is a fluid, easy, simple, mindless explanation that should solve everyone's anxiety. When did honesty and politics become hand in hand?
I assume that our presidents, Barack Obama, George W. Bush, I assume they're honest. I don't think it's right to assume they're dishonest. All right, let's get on to Hillary Clinton.
But their job is to be elected. And this was in the heat of an election campaign.
Oh, man. I mean, look, I know that's the reason this happened.
And it also happened...
It's so dumb.
It also happened in the midst of Hillary Clinton's triumphant farewell tour, remember. She was wrapping up her tenure as Secretary of State. It was supposed to be a great, grand time, and suddenly this interrupted.
Even though he doesn't know he did it, Jay Carney basically threw Hillary Clinton under the bus today. That he did. If you look at what he said, if you read the transcript, it's, you know, it wasn't us. It wasn't us. We had only a little bit to do with this. It was them. They wanted this out. That's what Carney was saying. Going forward, Hillary Clinton's going to have this around her neck for the rest of her political life.
You asked me if this was as serious as Watergate. Watergate was a cancer on the presidency that metastasized and ultimately claimed the president. I don't believe this is a cancer on the presidency, but I do believe that this is a malignancy on the future candidacy of Hillary Clinton for precisely the reasons that you suggest. It was the State Department that manipulated this to try to maintain her image.
And the White House went along with it because it helped them. But I think you're wrong about one thing. Once those emails are put out, and they're going to have to be, by the way. Carney said he's not putting them out. They're going to have to put them out. If they show that the White House guy took the pen and went like this, all right, you say this, then President Obama's in big trouble.
I don't believe the facts will go there, but I do believe that the only way to save the Obama administration from further humiliation is 8 months after the fact. Why don't we kill and capture who did this?
Well,
why aren't they being held responsible? Why
aren't we going more aggressively?
But if we take down the people, remember, the ultimately responsible for killing our folks there, that I think will quiet this controversy.
It would not mollify the Republicans.
Absent that,
that would not mollify the Republicans.
We're going to have this to talk about for a long time.
If they don't put the emails out, if they want to put the fire out, throw the emails out. Let's see what the correspondence back and forth. It's not classified. Geraldo Rivera, everybody. Watch him on Saturday directly ahead.